Assalamu alaikum. My name is Salman Shahid and I'm the student in Rehan School at Foundation Level in Islamabad RSIFA. And today I'm going to talk about the word alright, how the simple affirmation came to be. We are going to talk about this word from Maya today. So, first of all, let me connect this call to Maya.
Hi, what's up?
Hi, Maya. How are you? Are you doing fine?
I'm doing great. Just feeling bright and ready for whatever's on your mind. How's your Monday going?
It's going fine. Well, I'm here. I'm here back with my another topic on the word alright. So I'm going to ask you step by step question on this word so you can guide me easily and further about it. Okay? Are you ready for it?
I'm always ready for a deep dive. What's the word for today?
It's all right. How this simple affirmation came to be. So my first question is, what does the word all right mean?
On the surface, it's a bit of a chameleon.
All right. Okay. My next question is all right a formal or informal word?
It's definitely more on the casual side. It's the kind of thing you'd say to a friend or a coworker, but you probably wouldn't lead with it in a formal legal document or a high stakes academic paper.
All right. Okay. And why do people use
Fair
all
enough.
right in daily conversation?
I think it's all about efficiency. It's a Swiss Army knife of a phrase. You can use it to agree, to check if someone's okay, or even just to signal that you're moving on to a new topic. It just fills the gaps in conversation without needing a lot of effort.
All right. And what do you think? Like, what emotions does all right express?
It's a huge spectrum. Depending on the tone, it can be anything from genuine relief to total indifference. You can say it with a smile and it means everything is great, but you can say it with a sigh and it means I'm barely holding it together.
All right. And can all right mean both positive and neutral feelings?
Absolutely. It can be a warm all, right? When you're happy with a plan, or a flat all right when you're just acknowledging a fact. It's basically the emotional baseline of English.
So you're trying to say like it depends upon the tone, like what tone are we using to say the word all right? If you're using the word all right, saying the word all right in a happy mood, like it's totally fine. If you're saying all right in a neutral way, so it's mean like I'm holding up this thing, like I'm not satisfying with that. Am I right?
Exactly. You've got it.
All
It's
right.
wild how a couple of syllables can shift the entire mood of a room just by changing your pitch.
Okay. And how is all right different from okay?
They're like cousins, but with different personalities. Okay feels more like a green light, a direct agreement, or a confirmation. All right, often carries a bit more weight, like you're not just agreeing, but you're acknowledging the situation. Do you feel like you use one more than the other?
Yeah, I sometime I use all right and sometime I use okay, but I use both. I like both of the words. So, and in which situations do people say all right?
It pops up everywhere. You'll hear it a lot when people are wrapping up a conversation and getting ready to leave, or when they're finally reaching an agreement after a bit of a debate. It's also that go to phrase when you're checking in on someone, like asking, are you all right after they trip? I can think of a few more, but do you have a one in mind?
All right, and do you think like all right always mean agreement?
Not at all. It can be a way of shutting something down or even showing a little bit of skepticism. Like when someone tells you a story that sounds a bit too good to be true, and you just give a flat, all right, it's more of a sure, if you say so, than a yes, I agree.
All right, okay, and why is all right considered a simple affirmation?
Because it doesn't require any fluff. It's a direct, low friction way to say yes or I understand without having to elaborate. It gets the job done instantly, which is why it's such a staple in the way we talk.
Okay, and what do you think? Like, where did the word "all right" originate from?
Let me look let me look into that. It actually goes way back to Middle English, some time before 1413. Even Geoffrey Chaucer used it. It's a pretty straightforward combo of all and right, though the one word version, all right, didn't show up in print until much later in the 1800s.
Okay, is "all right" a modern or old expression?
It's a total survivor since it's been around since the Middle Ages. It's definitely an old expression, but it's evolved so well that it feels completely modern. It's one of those rare phrases that fits in just as well in a 14th century poem as it does in a text message today.
Got it. Okay, and how did "all right" become popular in English?
They basically just survive the test of time because it's so useful. Since it's such a versatile way to acknowledge something, people just never stopped using it. It's an efficiency thing. It filled a gap in the language for a simple, all purpose affirmation that wasn't too formal but wasn't too blunt. Do you think it feels more natural to use than other words for agreement?
Yeah, I think it's just a common word we're using for agreement. Like, it's kind of suit at the moment.
It really is the gold standard. It just fits into almost any conversation without feeling forced. Does it feel different to you when you say it versus when you hear someone else say it?
No, I didn't notice it. Well, my next question is: was "all right" always accepted in formal writing?
Not really. In most formal circles, all right is two words is the standard. All right is one word is often seen as a mistake or too casual. So you'll see a lot of teachers or editors flagging it in professional papers.
Okay, and why was "all right" changed to "all right" in usage? Like, it's
I
ALLRIGST changed to
I think you're
AMRIGST in usage. Why is that?
I think you're asking about the spelling shift, right? It's mostly just a natural evolution of how we speak. When people say it fast, the two words blend into one, so all right became a shorthand way to write it. It's basically the written version of a verbal shortcut.
All right, so you're trying to say like there's nothing changing in the meaning of the word, just spelling. There's just spell different between the word "all right" and "all right." All right.
Exactly. The meaning stays identical. It's just a battle between the traditionalists who want two words and the people who prefer the quick one word version.
All right. Okay. And who first started using "all right" widely?
It's hard to pin down one specific person since it was a slow burn, but for the one word, all right, some people point to Mark Twain as a big influence back in the 1860s. He had a way of capturing how people actually talked, which helped make those casual spellings feel a bit more legitimate.
Okay. And how has the meaning of "all right" evolved over time?
It's remained surprisingly stable. It's always been about being satisfactory or correct. The real evolution isn't in the meaning, but in how we use it as a social tool, shifting from a literal description of something being roll right to a versatile way to manage the flow of a conversation. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it totally makes sense for me. And did literature help spread the word "all right"?
It definitely did. Writers who wanted their characters to sound like real people, not like textbook examples, started using it more in dialogue. That's how a phrase moves from just being spoken in the streets to being something we see on the page and accept as a standard part of the language.
Okay. Is "all right" used differently in British and American English?
Not in a major way. It's one of those rare phrases that's pretty universal across the pond. Though you might find the British use all right a bit more as a greeting, like all right instead of how are you?
So you're trying to say like the word all right is a universal word in every culture and language.
Not quite. It's universal in the sense that it's used everywhere, English is spoken, but other languages have their own completely different words for the same feeling. Most cultures have a baseline word for agreement, but the sounds and the roots are totally different from all right.
Okay, and how do people use all right in greetings?
In the UK, it's actually a super common way to say hello. They'll just walk up and say, all right. And they're not even really asking if you're okay. It's just a shorthand for hi. Do you think that would work as a greeting where you are?
I don't think so. Like it's not kind of way to ask someone or to greet someone if you're just saying already all right. Then it's not make sense
Yeah.
for the others.
It would definitely feel a bit jarring if you just walked up to someone and said, all right, without the right cultural context. They'd probably think something was wrong or that you were checking to see if they just survived a crash. It's one of those things where the meaning is entirely tied to where you are.
Yeah. Okay. And can all right be used as a response?
I'm curious, what's the common response when someone says that where you are? I'm curious, what's the common response when someone says that where you are?
Can all right be used as a response?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the most common responses in English. You can use it to agree with someone, acknowledge a point, or even just let them know you're listening without having to commit to a full answer. It's like the ultimate conversational nod.
Perfect. Is all right used in texting and social media?
All the time. It's practically the king of the chat bubble. That's where you see all right as one word most often because when you're texting, speed is everything. It's the perfect way to keep a conversation moving without needing to type a whole sentence. Since we've covered the basics and the history, do you want to dive into how it sounds in different contexts or maybe look at some alternatives that feel a bit more expressive?
All right. And my next question is why do people prefer all right in casual speech?
It's all about that path of least resistance. It's just so much faster and smoother to say. It doesn't have the formal weight of something like that is acceptable or I agree. It's just a low pressure way to keep the energy of a conversation light and easy.
Okay. And can all right be used to end a conversation?
Definitely. It's that classic signal that says, okay, we've reached a natural stopping point. Like when you say, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. It's basically the verbal equivalent of a closing door.
And what do you think? Like, is all right polite or neutral?
It's mostly neutral. It's not exactly a warm, fuzzy word, but it's not rude either. It's just a safe, middle of the road choice that doesn't really commit you to a strong emotion, one way or the other.
Okay. Can you give me example how the tone can context change its meaning?
Sure. Imagine you're asking a friend if they're down for pizza. If they say all right with a rising pitch, it's a huge yes. But if they say all right with a slow, trailing off tone, it sounds like they're agreeing because they have to, but they're not actually excited about it. Same word, totally different vibe.
Perfect. And can all right show concern?
Definitely can. Like when you ask, are you all right? If someone looks upset, in that case, it's not about agreement at all. It's a way of showing you've noticed they're struggling and that you care.
Okay. And is all right used in professional settings?
It's used, but it's a bit of a gamble. You'll hear it in meetings or casual chats between coworkers all the time. But if you're presenting to a CEO or writing a formal email to a client, you probably want to swap it for something a bit more polished, like correct or that sounds good,
Okay. And why do people use all right to calm others?
because it's grounding and takes the temperature down. When things are chaotic or someone's panicking, saying, it's all right, acts like a verbal anchor. It simplifies everything and tells the other person that the situation is manageable. which helps them breathe a little easier.
Okay, so you're trying to say like the all right word can be used to calm someone, right?
Exactly. It's that steady, reassuring voice that lets someone know they aren't alone in the mess. It's less about the facts of the situation and more about the feeling of safety.
Okay, can all right show acceptance of reality?
Oh, totally. It's that sigh of resignation, like when you get a flat tire in the rain and just say, all right, that's my day. It's not that you're happy about it, but you're admitting it's happening and you're ready to deal with it.
Okay, and how does all right help emotional balance?
It's a bit like a mental reset button. By acknowledging that things are all right, you're essentially telling your brain that the situation isn't a crisis. It stops the spiral of overthinking and helps you find a stable middle ground where you can actually think clearly again.
Okay, is all right a form of positive thinking?
In a way, yeah. It's not necessarily everything is amazing kind of positivity, but it's a form of realistic optimism. It's like saying, this isn't perfect, but it's manageable. By framing things as all right, you're choosing to focus on the stability of the situation rather than the chaos.
Okay, can all right build confidence?
You can, though, maybe not in the way you think. When someone gives you a firm all right after you've proposed an idea, it's like a small stamp of approval. It validates that your thought was reasonable and accepted, which can definitely give you a little boost of confidence to keep going.
Okay, and why is all right easier to use than long phrases?
It's all about the mental bandwidth. Long phrases require more planning and precision, but all right is just a reflex. It's a linguistic shortcut that lets you respond instantly without having to construct a full architectural marvel of a sentence. Why spend 10 words when two do the job perfectly?
Okay, is all right universal in English speaking countries?
Pretty much. It's one of those rare staples that works whether you're in New York, London, or Sydney. While the slang around it might shift a bit, the core use of it as a baseline for agreement or checking in is a total constant.
Well, you know, I experienced it like someone who knows English little bit or an experience or is a pro at it, speaking English, like you're using the word all right consistent, you know.
I think you're saying it's a bit of a benchmark.
Yeah.
Whether you're just starting to learn the language or you've spoken it your whole life, all right just works. It doesn't require a lot of fancy grammar or specialized vocabulary to land exactly how you want it to. It's basically the most accessible tool in the English kit
Yeah, you're right. And why is all right considered universal?
because it hits a fundamental human need. It's not just about English, but the fact that every culture needs a way to say this is okay or we're good here without making it a big deal. Since it's so simple and doesn't carry too much emotional baggage, it's easy for anyone to pick up and use, regardless of their skill level,
Okay, and why do writers use all right in stories?
to make their characters feel like actual humans. If a writer used perfectly formal English in every line of dialogue, the characters would sound like robots or textbook examples. Using all right gives the dialogue a natural rhythm and makes the scene feel more authentic, like you're eavesdropping on a real conversation instead of reading a script.
Okay, how is all right used in texting apps?
Hmm. It's the ultimate low effort response. You'll see it as a quick way to end a plan, like, all right, see you at 6, or as a simple acknowledgement of a long message. It's basically the digital version of a thumbs up emoji.
Okay, perfect.
Not a
So that's your question today about the word all right, Maya, and I hope you like it, and I hope you get some fun with me talking on the word. We having conversation on the word all right, and you know you
I loved it.
yeah you solved
You all
half of my half of my questions, and you solved most of my queries regarding the word all right, and I'm so thankful to you for having that fun, that kind of conversation with me. And I hope
I'm the one.
to meet again. I will catch you with some another video with some another interesting topic, like with another word. I hope you have a good one. All right, okay.
You're so welcome. I've had a blast. I'll be here whenever you've got the next word on your list. Take it easy.
All right. हाँ, तो व्यूअर्स ये थी हमारी आज की वीडियो। उम्मीद करता हूँ आपको मेरी वीडियो से कुछ ना कुछ मस्बत और नया सीखने को ज़रूर मिला होगा। मिलते हैं किसी नई वीडियो में किसी नए टॉपिक के साथ। तब तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज़।